Are you
Okay,
ready to get lost in the paranormal, Jenny?
I'm ready. I am ready and willing.
Okay. Hello, Internet land. I am Angie, psychic medium. This is Jenny, our Akashic Records practitioner. I even said it correctly. And we are here today on the Soul Society podcast to open up our very first episode about the paranormal. Before we get started, Jenny, how has your week been?
I had a great week.
Good.
I spent time changing up my surroundings for the podcast.
Nice. I like it.
Yes, I was looking at what's working and what's not working. So that was
Yay.
fun. That was fun to kind
Sure.
of watch yourself on screen. And I want to say, rate your level of from beginner to expert on how you think you are as a podcaster.
Oh, I'm
I
not there yet.
well, right, you don't. It's funny because I feel like I have thought about doing a podcast for a while because when you watch people do it, it's so effortless.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I can see myself bantering. I can see, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, and that takes time.
It does.
That takes time. I see where I'm at on the scale, but I'm still having fun. I still am
I mean,
having
we're on episode 2, and
right.
you and I talk about this stuff all the time, and yet
Yeah.
we still freeze as soon as I hit record. Eventually, record will be that thing that's like, cool, let's do this.
Yeah. 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 So
Right?
that's how I spent some of my week. How about you?
Nice. I had a very good week. I spent some of my time with some very good friends that I consider family. I've done a lot of playing with the cat who is behaving, and work. Of course, I work. But one of the things that I was having a lot of fun doing today is coming up with ideas of next steps for the website, some ways that we can make this more fun.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I'm doing over the next week is delving into Discord to see how easy it would be to have a Discord channel for chats and live streams and just hanging out with the community when
Mhm.
they eventually show up once we put ourselves out there more. But I'm
Good.
very, very proud of myself and you as well, both of us, for getting that very first episode up and out there. That was a huge deal in my world.
Yeah.
So it was a fantastic week on my side. And now I'm here chatting with you about
Well,
things I love.
and we forgot the most important thing we did this weekend, which was go to the zoo together.
We went to the zoo. We
We
went and
went
played
to
with
the
the
zoo.
animals.
We did. And can I tell you, the giraffe and the elephant are still my favorite.
They are pretty darn cute.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who I would consider my favorite this time. I was actually, you know what? I was really excited to see the rhino.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
the rhinoceros in his new big enclosure, and it's so pretty, and I actually got to see him.
Yeah.
And I find them to be the funniest looking animals on the planet, and they made me very happy.
Yeah.
So, because our zoo does not have platypuses, the rhino was my favorite.
Okay.
All the
Fair.
cats just seemed kind of bored.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Oh, you know what, though? I really did like, was it Alex the orangutan,
Oh,
who
yeah.
was hiding under her sheet while she
Oh, my
ate.
gosh. Yes. Oh,
She
that's so much.
literally was curled up in a ball with her sheet over her head.
She shared a
That,
gift with us, too, that I can't unsee.
she grossed Jenny out.
She grossed me out. And
She
yeah,
grossed you out. And that's okay.
yeah, it's okay. Yep.
The best part about going to the zoo when it is really cold and you live in the Midwest is that all the animals are inside, so you get to see them do things that you wouldn't normally be able to see them do because they're out and further away from you. So it was a really fun day.
It was a great day.
Yeah. All right. Today we are talking about paranormal investigations, or as I like to jokingly call, even though it drives some people crazy, I like to say I go ghost hunting. Not because I'm in any way hunting anything, because all I do is sit there and make new friends. But it is just such a fun term to me, and it makes me laugh. So,
Mm-hmm.
I am a psychic medium but I have not always been comfortable saying I'm a psychic medium. Took me quite a bit to do that, actually. Before that, I called myself sensitive, and I met a friend who was into doing paranormal investigation, and I was able to join her group for a while, and then met some wonderful people who are still the people that I hang out with now. And I go on usually 1 to 2 investigations a year. Every so often, I'll have a really busy year and go on quite a few, but I tend to have a lot of fun hanging out with my group that's down in Missouri. So, by paranormal investigations, for those who aren't familiar with the term, because I'm assuming there are still people who aren't, I literally go to places that are considered haunted, and I use scientific tools and I use my own psychic abilities to then interact with the spirits that are there. The goal is technically to get evidence, confirmation that they are there, figure out who they are, why they're there. I do not ever, ever, ever go into any situation planning to kick anybody out of anywhere. That's the spirit's home. I go and I play with them. And for me, it's just a fun night of sitting down, seeing what happens, and who's willing to talk and play with me.
How would you define those spirits? Like, where do they reside compared to, let's say, an angel or someone who has crossed over? The people you tend, or the spirits or energies you tend to connect with in these spaces?
That's a fun question. More often than not, the spirits that I'm interacting with at those in those sites and those investigations are what I call earthbound spirits. So they are usually people like you and I who are in a body, a soul that's in a body, and then the body dies and the soul stays here for one reason or another.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes spirits from the other side in the spirit world will come and hang out here too, so they'll interact.
Yeah.
And sometimes you end up interacting with things that are more of an energetic being and less of an actual soul that like stepped out of a body.
What are some of the reasons they kind of remain in that space? And maybe you're going to get to that as
Yeah, no,
you
we can talk
talk.
about that, and then we'll talk about some of the places that I've been to, because
Yes.
it'll help you understand some of the experiences I've had with
Okay.
spirits, right? I'll
Good.
talk about some of those.
Yeah.
So there are just as many reasons a spirit would stay here as there are humans and reasons to be afraid, right? Sometimes the spirit just wants to be here. It likes being alive. Without a body, it doesn't care. It's still living on doing its thing. There are some spirits that don't even realize they're dead. So they just go on with their life as though nothing happened
Right.
until something does happen that shakes them out of it enough to make them realize they're not alive. And then they inevitably have to face their death and usually move on from there. When it comes to the number one reason why spirits stay, that is fear. Always, right?
Okay.
Usually it is fear of the other side, fear of not being good enough, fear of where they're going to go, right? If you grow up believing that there's only good or bad and you don't necessarily believe you're good enough to go to like heaven, then you're going to be afraid to go over there for fear of going to hell.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Is it safe to say too, maybe they're carrying something from this life that they haven't quite shed yet? You know,
Some of
they're
them.
carrying that dense, okay, that
Yeah,
something
some of them
human.
have things
They're
they have to deal with. Yeah.
carrying. Okay.
So let me see. I'm gonna go through all of the spirits that I played with that I can remember like off the top of my head and give you reasons why they stayed.
Okay.
Jonathan stayed because he died first. Daughter his daughter died first. She was in her 20s. She passed away first. When he passed, she was afraid to go over. So he stayed as a spirit to be with her until she was ready to go over.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. That was a spirit I met when I was in elementary school. And then he hung out with me throughout most of my life, which is
That
cool.
must have been fun.
It's quite a story. We'll get to that one day. So like he stayed because of her. She stayed because she was afraid.
Okay.
There is one that I met that stayed. He was haunting work because he actually really enjoyed work. It gave him purpose. He really enjoyed being there. He liked the people that was there. So when he died, he just decided to stay and keep working. So he was walking around like he was, I mean, he wasn't physically doing work, but he was basically leading his little team from a spiritual standpoint, right? He was up
Right.
in everybody's business.
Yeah.
And he
Right.
kept trying to get me up in everyone's business. It was really funny.
Yeah. I love
So
that.
sometimes it's literally just because they're
Okay.
having fun.
Yeah.
There are those who just flat out don't know they're dead. There was one that I met that he was interesting. I worked in a warehouse at the time, and there was train tracks nearby. And every few months, I would feel him. I would always feel the energy start a little ways away, which would have been about the train track area. And then
Mm-hmm.
he walked the same like circle. And then he would disappear for a couple of months, and then it would happen again. It was like this repeat,
Okay.
right? He came through the warehouse one day, and I finally connected with him, and that was actually really stupid on my part because I pulled him out of his reality. He had no clue he was dead.
Okay.
Though, in all honesty, we could go down this whole tangent of he might not have been. We might have just been two timelines hitting each other, but I don't believe that's the case.
Again. Yeah.
In this particular case, he felt dead. So by connecting with him, I accidentally shook him out of the reality that he was living in. He was literally continuing to live his life. He was working, he was a salesman. But back in the times where they had to use the train and they would walk around and like sell things using their little briefcase things.
Yep.
So he was just following his route and doing his life. And then I came along and connected with him and accidentally pulled him out of it and scared the crap out of both of us and had a really, really interesting day at work. But by the time that evening hit, he was gone again and went right back into his cycle, and it was like nothing ever happened.
Okay.
I learned
Got
not to connect with him again.
Good
Right?
job.
So there's learn the hard way sometimes, Jen.
Yeah. Well, yep. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
It is not uncommon for spirits to stay after they pass to help their loved ones grieve. That's another one. They'll stay for a certain period of time until their people are at least comfortable with them being gone, and then they'll leave.
Yeah.
And then some people just, their life or their death is very traumatic and they are stuck in that trauma. And it takes a while for the spirit world, because the spirit world is always interacting with the spirits that are here, trying to help them get back over there.
Okay.
But just like a human who's been traumatized, it takes a lot of that inner work and inner healing to even be open up to seeing beyond yourself, to then find those spirits and go over there.
So, thank you. Yeah, that answered that.
Yeah, everything from positive to negative. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, now I can't wait to hear about some of the places you have visited.
Okay, so let's see. Since 2015, I have been to, I guess, quite a few places. The very first place I went to is called Ashmore Estates. It is in Ashmore, Illinois. If I have any paranormal investigators who are listening that have not been there, go. 100% go. They are amazing. This building, it's tiny and there's only 3 floors, but there is so much activity there. It is over the top amazing. I have multiple EVPs of voices. Watched shadow people jumping through the, like, walking down the hall and waving at us. We've had, at one of the nurses' stations, we had someone shush us, but we were all standing in a little group over here and the voice came from across the room, and it helps that the teams that I went with there, they knew the owner. We knew they were not trying to prank us.
Okay.
So everything we got there, we could trust. So, fantastic place, very, very active and a ton of fun. One of the next ones I went was the Ohio State Reformatory, which was where the Shawshank Redemption happened. I did an overnight there. The building is huge, so big and so beautiful, and the stories that are in it are unfortunately very dark. It was created to be a reformatory, which took like low-level offense people in jail and taught them how to be better members of society, and then release them back out into society. Okay. But after a while, Ohio realized it needed a new maximum security prison, so it shifted over to that. And so I went expecting to deal with the darker stuff, and instead we had a spirit actually give Ken a hard time because he took a seat and the spirit was angry that he didn't offer it to one of us girls first.
Right.
It made that very clear. So I was finding these really, really sweet spirits who were taking care of us and just adorable. It's the only place I have ever had a spirit lawyer up,
Oh,
which is a fun story. We
okay.
were asking questions going down a path that realized that this person was in jail for an arson, and there was someone who ended up dying in this arson, and apparently the people in jail didn't know that he was involved in that. So he was afraid to tell us. And literally, we had the spirit box going so you can hear their voices and their answers. I'm sure it helps that we were in the room where they actually interrogated people to see if they could be released. So they were interacting with us, thinking that we were the team that would be helping releasing them.
Okay.
So, of course, then we have this poor guy. We're asking him questions, and we find out he was accidentally part of a murder. And about the time we got to that and realized that, you literally heard him go, "Lawyer," and went silent. It took like 3 minutes and us apologizing before he would actually talk to us again.
I have a
So
question.
some of the things that happen are absolutely amazing. Yes.
Okay, so a couple things that you mentioned. Tell me, when you say darker, what do you mean by that?
Darker to me is the more negative or scarier things.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I
you,
refuse to
yeah,
call things evil. I do not in any way
right.
believe there is evil. Spirit makes it very clear there is nothing naturally evil.
Okay.
But there are things that are scary, and there are things that feel uncomfortable. And
Okay.
those are the darker things to me.
And would you say that like they're heavier in a sense? Would you
Yes,
say they're
darker, denser, lower
okay?
level energies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And is that because they're carrying that energy with them? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
So if you think from a human standpoint, I think many of us have experienced something like this, right? You drive through an area that, say, a car accident just happened in. Something like a car accident causes that really deep negative energies, which is very low level,
Right.
dense energy,
Okay.
right? Fear. Fear in and of itself, anything fear related, is very low level, very dense, very heavy, very dark.
Okay.
It stays there. So then
Okay.
when you drive through it, you could then feel that kind of dark
Okay.
energy, that sort of, I walk into a building and I just don't feel comfortable type thing.
Okay. Okay.
That's the denser, darker energies,
Okay.
not because it's dark or bad, just
Yeah.
it's here
Okay.
versus the spirit world, which is way up here, which would be the really light energies.
And then, so would you say it's kind of like um, people have different tastes in a movie? Some
Mm-hmm.
people would love watching horror films.
Correct.
Some people like the rom-coms or fill in the
Mm-hmm.
blank with that.
Yep.
Is it kind of like how I'm describing a movie? Like some people like to go to these
Yeah.
places to be scared. Some people like to do, is that kind of what bring people to these
You
locations?
are absolutely explaining paranormal investigators. Yes.
Okay.
Some of them are looking for that thrill,
Okay.
that more scary movie stuff. They're the ones who then link more with the lower level, darker stuff, right?
Okay.
So they often have the scarier experiences.
Okay.
Someone like me, I had those as a kid, decided, I don't like that much. And while I still experience those and I know when those spirits are around, I don't connect with them much. I can if I want to, but I don't
Yeah.
really need that anymore. I've had enough of those. I'm good.
Well, and I think maybe like to clarify a little bit, the average person does not need to be scared of any of this.
Correct.
Do you,
I'm going to elaborate on that a bit because I understand that not everyone will agree with that, or it doesn't resonate with people, right? Because there are plenty of people who are well aware that there are things to be scared of.
yes.
There is an overlying misunderstanding thanks to television and the paranormal stories that are constantly pushing the dark stuff, right?
Mhm.
Keeping in mind that the human brain likes to be scared. It is literally its whole thing is it looks for the things to scare it, right? So when it gets those little cheap thrills, but it can stay safe, it gets a kick out of it because that's that adrenaline rush,
Yeah.
right? So there are a lot of things out there that try to teach us that the spirit is what has the control.
Okay.
Okay. But the truth is, the human is what has the control. The human just doesn't understand it.
Right.
As long as the people out there are not in like some sort of victim energy, because that can open up for all sorts of fun things, not just spiritually related, but believe in their safety, truly believe in their safety, and believe that they are able to go into these spaces, then they'll be fine, right? There are people who have been ghost hunting or investigating for 15, 20 years. They've never had an encounter at all, right? They might see little things here and there, but they've never had that, oh my
Sure.
gosh, I've seen a ghost thing,
Sure.
right? Because they have this energy of, I want to see it, but I also don't think I believe in it. So it kind of causes that imbalance. So it
Yes.
doesn't allow it to happen, right?
Yes.
When it comes to spirituality, believing is seeing. It is a law of attraction thing. It's us manifesting or attracting what
Okay.
we believe in more than anything else, right? So
Yeah.
if you go in looking for the scarier stuff, you're more likely to find the scarier stuff.
Okay.
If you go in knowing that you're safe and you just want to have fun, you're more likely to find the stuff that you're going to have fun with.
Love
And a
that.
lot of people don't seem to understand that aspect of it, that you
Yes.
actually are a part of what happens there and you are a part of creating that.
Yes.
So, do people technically have a right to be scared? Yes, there are some things, and I'm sorry for the people who have lived through some pretty shitty stuff,
Yes.
right? There are scary experiences that people have had, 100%. But there is also, as far as my opinion is, and what I've learned from Spirit, nothing out there that is purposefully trying to hurt anybody.
Right.
The things that do come across that way are often human made and man made by our energies, our belief systems. So, and
Thank
what
you.
we expect.
Yeah.
You could have the kindest spirit standing in front of you, but
Yeah.
if you're expecting it to be scary, it's going to end up being scary one way or another
Right.
because the world gives you what you believe.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, what are some of the fun tools you use when you go on your
Ooh.
your
So I
adventures?
started with just a voice recorder.
Oh,
Boring, but it's amazing what you can get on those, and they are still one
okay.
of my favorite tools.
Okay.
But the thing that I have fallen in love with the most, I have two. I love my Frank's box or my Spirits box. It is literally a radio where they remove the ability to stop on a channel. So it's constantly cycling through channels. And it's
Mm,
got like this fuzz sound to it as it does that. But what happens is the spirits are actually able to use like the voices to answer questions. So as you're cycling, you think of hitting scan on a car radio. You know how it'll do little like
yes.
bits and blurbs of things, right? So not only can they use those little bits and blurbs to answer questions, you can actually hear their voices over it. So it is a really, really cool audible way to get those answers. As a psychic, so much happens inside my head, and I can't show anybody. I can't
Right.
share that with
Oh,
anybody. All I can do is tell them
yeah.
and hope that they believe it,
Right.
right? Something like the spirit box helps that confirmation. The dowsing rods are the other thing that I love too,
Yes.
because they are similar.
Mhm.
I can say the things, and then when it confirms or then gives that second level of confirmation,
Yeah.
it helps me to believe more in my abilities as well.
Yeah.
So, doing paranormal investigations as a psychic has done a great job of helping me to really believe in myself and my abilities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 Did that
And
answer your
is it?
question?
Yes, it did. Is it easy for ghosts or those spirits to connect with these things? Is it trial and error for them? Is that how does explain that process?
That's a fun one. So just like anything else as a human, they have to learn how to do it.
Right.
So the longer that they're dead, the easier it is for them to interact with things because they have more experience trying.
Okay. Okay.
So like a spirit who just passes that's earthbound has to learn it. So
Right.
there's like watching my dowsing rods with a poor spirit like that, they're just wobbling and they can't really get them to do anything, right?
Sure.
But a spirit who's done it before with other people can then do it.
Okay, good. No,
Did
if
I
you had,
answer all your questions?
you
Have I
did.
questioned you
And
out?
no, well, I have more thoughts, but did you get through all the places you have visited that you
I
loved?
mean, I've been to quite a few more,
Okay.
but those are my favorite, I think,
Highlights. Yeah.
because
It,
those were big, huge experiences that changed me. Like
yes.
when I went to Waverly Hills, they helped me open up parts of myself, and I came back with a different level of some of my abilities. And when I went to the Ohio State Reformatory, we had to earn their trust. There was some group that had been there not too long before us that had not treated them well. And
Okay.
so the spirits themselves were literally in the middle of trust issues with us. And it took us a little while that day to really earn that trust
Okay.
back before
Okay.
they interacted with us. But by the end of the night, it was mind blowing, the experiences that happened.
Mm,
And thanks to the Ohio State Reformatory, I had an experience that I had to look at myself and go, you know what? I have to stop saying I'm a sensitive because I am very clearly beyond that level. And
right.
that's part of what helped me to accept I'm going to accept the term psychic medium and move forward with this,
Right. Right.
which was really cool.
I bet it was. I bet it was.
It also scared the crud out of me. But that was just an internal shakeup because I
Yeah.
was more afraid of myself than anything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that too, because I am not of the horror movie go to the site type person. My daughter lives in San Francisco, and every time we go, we talk about going to Alcatraz. And
Yes,
I'm
I want
like,
to go there.
right. And I'm like, no, nah, I think I'm good. No, thank you. I'll stay over here. Have fun. Let me know how it went. But that
I took
is
my
my
son to
heart rate.
Gettysburg
No.
a few years ago
Oh,
just to see
right.
what happened when
Oh,
you
I
put
bet.
someone like me in the middle of that.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That was
Yeah.
quite the experience,
Oh, I
right?
bet it was. I bet it
So
was.
there's there's a there's a whole different level
Mm-hmm.
when you are aware of what's there.
Yes. Yes.
So that one was actually really interesting because I had taken my mom with me. She
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go on a road trip, so I grabbed her and we went and we got there really late at night. GPS kept taking us weird routes. So we were driving through the mountains really late at night. It was the full moon. It ended up being a
All
night of a
right.
full moon. We got there
Yep.
and we turned this corner, and I didn't realize we were coming to get to the hotel through the battlefield.
Hmm.
And we turn this corner, and suddenly we've got all this battle stuff around us. And it hit me like a wall, and I
Right.
was literally watching it happen all around me. And
Yeah.
so my body just stiffened, and I'm like, I have to drive. I have to drive.
Right.
My mom, it was one of the first times my mom's seen it actually physically affect me in
Yes.
that way. She was like, it's like a switch just flipped because all of a sudden you were just like, yep,
Yep.
I have to focus here and not pay attention to the fact that there's like cannonballs flying around my car. It was quite the overwhelming experience.
I bet it was. I bet it was. And I think you bring up a good point of that the average person can feel the energies of spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you go to places like that and you can feel the
Everything.
sorrow,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the joy. There's feelings associated with places, and we all have that.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's not hard to take that next step to what is
Right.
causing that energy.
Yeah.
So
And
I
you know
think
what?
that's a cool thing to think of.
That's a fantastic point, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I am not always good at doing because of my background. I learned to not talk about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
From a very young age, Spirit taught me it's just easier not to talk about it
Mm-hmm.
because at a young age, talking about these things was obviously
Oh,
could cause issues.
I could imagine. Yeah.
So it's still not my default to just start voicing everything that's happening around me. Even when I go on paranormal investigations, I will often just sit quietly there and experience everything. And I do have friends like Ken who are helping me to learn to open up and actually voice. But I also don't want to take away from someone else's experience by
Mm-hmm.
dominating or like giving answers that they want to try and find themselves, right?
Right.
So I tend to be quiet when I go and do these things. There was a trying to figure out how best to word this. Sorry for the stuttering there, internet land. This is Angie being uncomfortable, trying to figure out how to politely say what she wants to say while keeping her words to a minimum because YouTube and places don't like bigger words. Or at least don't like the words I say when I'm passionate. This is me trying to stay clean. So I was at I went to an investigation with this team, and there were some other people who I had investigated with in the past, but it had been a while since I'd seen them. And it ended up being our Airbnb was just as haunted or probably more so haunted than the place we actually went to investigate. So that
Mm-hmm.
made for a really fun night because, of course,
Right.
we're going to take advantage of that and see what we
Right.
can have happen.
Right.
But these two people who I hadn't seen in a while ended up having to leave early because something happened in their family. But as they were leaving, one of them looked at me and was like, it's a bummer that they aren't interacting with you and that nothing's really happening. And I got this look on my face like, I don't know what you're talking about until I realized that because I wasn't saying it, he just assumed nothing was happening.
Okay. Right.
Right? Because people assume that a psychic on a situation like this is just going to be constantly talking about everything.
Right.
But the truth is, when I sit down in these places, I am getting so much information that trying to weed through it all,
Right.
I don't even know what to say half the time, right? It's like sitting in the middle of Disneyland,
Yes.
trying to tell people what's going on
Yeah.
the crowded streets of Main Street, where there's noises of carts, there's voices, there's all of these environments and energies and feelings. And so I don't always talk about the stuff that's happening, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening.
Sure, of course.
Right?
Of course.
So there's so much of my world that I'm getting more information than I'm ever sharing.
Sure.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I bet. Well explained. The internet will be, YouTube will be happy with how you explained that.
And I got to dance while I did it to try and keep the cat out of the camera. We have a few mascots here on our podcast.
We do.
I have one. You have two?
I have two. They're in the room and they're behaving. I was shocked when, a couple times they've come right behind the camera and they never came here. So I'm shocked. And
Teppy likes to show off. She's only a month in. She hasn't learned the don't get on here while I'm actually talking to the camera. So, she went off to play. She'll behave now.
Yeah.
We're learning. So yeah, it's a really fun and interesting experience, and I am so grateful that I got the chance to actually start doing investigations because it does give me the chance to practice and play with my psychic stuff, but it also gives me the science part of it, which is kind of fun, and watching how they both intertwine and work together is even neater.
So who would you recommend going to places like this? People who like excitement, people who are, who are your who is the prime audience for these type of places?
I mean,
and you don't
got
have
me again.
Well,
anyone can go. whatever,
Yes.
go have fun. There
Yes.
are Ashmore Estates has a kids' day, which I think is amazing and awesome.
Mm.
It's during the day, so it's not that dark, scary stuff. It shows them
Mhm.
how to do this stuff in a safe atmosphere with people teaching them,
Yes.
but it still gives them those experiences.
Hmm.
Contrary to popular belief, ghosts do not only haunt places at night. We just investigate at night because there's less noise, less outside interference, and you can see shadows better.
Got it.
Um, but yeah, so the right type of people to go on these, anyone curious. If you are curious and you are not afraid, go for it,
Got it.
right? The overnight stuff might not be for everybody,
No.
right? But there are so many neat haunted places out there that use the money that you give them for tours or daytime investigations or any of those things. They use it to restore the places.
Right.
That is one of my absolute favorite parts.
Yeah.
Not only am I ghost hunting, I'm sitting in this beautiful historic place. I get a history lesson about it,
Yes.
and the money that I give them is going to restore it and keep it alive. That's amazing to me.
Yes. Yes.
So, anyone curious about history, anyone curious about just any of it, right? I will never be okay with people breaking into places to do this.
Right.
This is not acceptable.
Right.
There are rules, there are times, right? Keep it within the legal limits, keep it within the appropriate spaces.
Yes.
Always make sure you have someone with you because safety factors in these places, they are old buildings, things happen. So going into these things, doing it the right way. There are paracons everywhere. There are people who do these things that can help you be a part of it. And the places themselves usually have setups where you can basically join a group for a day and they'll take you on an investigation around their house or around their building.
Yeah.
Those are great ways to get started and meet people to then, if you want to create a paranormal group, you can do it that way.
Great.
Yeah.
Love that.
One day I'm going to take you on an investigation. I already know what and where. Now my job is to convince you to go.
Right. It'll have to be
Right?
daylight.
We can do that. There are a few people that you know too that want to go to a daylight one. So road trip to Ashmore it is. They may or may not let us come back. We'll see.
Right. Maybe.
Ashmore likes my attention and I love it. So but yeah, so it's fantastic. It's fun. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Right? There are people who are too afraid, and that's perfectly fine.
Well,
if you are that scared of it, you're not going to connect with the fun stuff. So that's fine. Stay away. Right?
Yeah. But I really feel like I really enjoy hearing what other people are curious about,
Yeah.
what excites them, what's fun to them. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. That is not something I've ever done. I haven't really thought much of it, but I love to hear your perspective and your excitement about it.
Oh, it's when you find the people who've been doing it a while. We don't do it as long as we do it. I mean, it's been almost 11 years now for me. You don't do it that long because you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to prove anything. I already know they exist.
Right.
I just go and have fun. I love the different places. I love seeing the things. Mm-hmm. I get just as much of a kick out of the haunted history tours.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Yeah.
So anything. A couple weeks ago, I stole Jenny and a couple friends of ours and went to a haunted hotel here for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Just an overnight stay in a hotel that may or may not be haunted, and had fun with that, right?
And I actually had fun
just
with
for
that.
The experience.
Yes.
Yeah, just for the experience.
Yes. Yeah.
I have to go through our voice recorder to see if anything actually talked to us. It was using the cat ball after you guys left.
Yeah.
In fact, I had to shut off the cat ball because it wouldn't stop lighting up the room, and you can't sleep with those lights twinkling all night.
That's great.
So we'll see.
That's great.
But yeah, it was really neat.
Good.
So you never know where you'll find that is haunted,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes it even more fun. Like the randomly haunted Airbnb. They
Right.
were definitely playing with us there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't take me anywhere, Jenny. I'm going to find somebody. I
All right.
have literally been kayaking with friends and had one of them look at me and say, "Hey, Angie, who you talking to?" And I realized I stopped talking to my friends like 5 minutes beforehand because I was busy having a conversation in my head and didn't realize I
Right.
stopped. Wait, aren't you a part of this conversation?
Like, you're not hearing this? Oh yeah, you're not. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I should probably be nice and share
You have
that.
to translate for everyone.
Yes, yes.
Mm,
It was
that's
funny.
great. So as I was thinking about ghosts, I
Hmm.
really was noticing the change in frequency, the
Yeah,
difference in my frequency, and let's say kind of the type of ghosts or spirits you're talking about.
sure.
Very different frequency.
Very different.
And the energy I was picking up on was a bit of confusion.
Hmm.
Like, where am I?
Yeah.
Almost felt a little bit in between.
Okay.
And from how you described it, there were some spirits that you described perfectly
Yeah.
in
There
that
are some that
space.
are just like that. Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they're neither here nor there, and they're also confused by where they are.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
The other thing I kind of got, and you mentioned this already too,
Sure.
is it feels like they're carrying energy that stuck with them after they
Some of them.
pass,
Yep.
and they can't shake it, and they don't quite
Right.
know how to shake it.
Right.
And because they're confused, they don't even know they have it. There's
Hmm.
all of that.
Well, and someone who in life doesn't want to deal with their emotions and their baggage in death isn't going to
Yeah.
either
So
until they're forced to.
so it kind of felt like something was attached to their energy field that wasn't theirs. And they were still trying to work through that, still trying
Okay.
to shed that.
I have trouble with the concept of other things being attached to people.
Okay.
It it does happen sometimes, but it is not nearly as common as the television would make you think it is.
Okay. And I'm thinking attached like,
You're more like carrying someone else's weight. So like someone who was murdered might carry the weight of the
or
murderer
or they left with a
or the fact that they were
physical
murdered.
worry, like I never had enough money. I never had enough money. I never had
Yes.
enough
I'm
money.
not good
So
enough.
when they
Hmm.
pass, that thought is still with them, but that thought doesn't even exist in the spirit world. If does that make
Exactly.
sense?
It
That
does, yeah.
okay, that's
So
more
like
yes.
yeah, if we use an example of say two people were in a car accident, the person who caused it died in the car
Right.
accident. They could get stuck here by that guilt of being in the car accident.
Yes.
And it might not even be something that happened right when they die, right? If they
No.
have a guilt they're carrying in their life
Yeah.
and they die and they're still determined to hold on to that guilt,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It will absolutely hold them back
Yeah.
because you cannot have that lower level energy, that dense energy of something like fear and guilt,
Yes.
and go over to the spirit world because it is too high. That's why they have, when you go over, they have that. I call it spirit school. It's more like a spirit spa. I think I'm just going to start calling it spirit spa
Ooh,
instead,
I like that.
where basically you are releasing that stuff
Yes. Yeah.
and raising your energy from that lower level up to the really high stuff again so that you can then integrate
Yeah.
back into that world.
Another thing I thought about was spirits wanting to remember or learn from humans.
Yeah,
So
they're
I
still
could
learning.
imagine them coming to spaces to help prepare themselves for when they are going to become human again. to
Sure. Yeah.
remember what it's like again, to gain knowledge, be reminded of what it's like to be human again. And I could also imagine spirits coming into spaces for that purpose too.
Yeah. It's very common for the spirit of children to
Yes.
spend time with the mother before they're born,
Yeah.
like sometimes even before she gets pregnant,
Yeah.
because they're integrating that energy so
Yeah.
that when she carries them, it's more natural,
Yeah.
right? So they'll show up any amount of time they want beforehand,
Yeah.
right? And they'll hang out before that happens. But spirits, both earthbound and spirits that are in the spirit world, are constantly learning just like we are.
Yes.
And we learn from each other,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like I've had spirits from the spirit world. The longer they spend here on this side, the more they start to feel like the earthbound spirits because
Mm-hmm.
they get pulled down by our dense energies.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'll kick them back over there and be like, go take a vacation over there. You need to balance your emotions. But it's like
Checking up
meditation.
on.
Go meditate. It's good for you. Right? But they learn too. So they're over there in the spirit world, all knowing beings who still come here, and their interactions of helping humans or helping, interacting with family members when they've had a
Yeah.
life here.
Right.
They learn from that too, and they grow and they expand too.
Yeah.
It's not like they just magically know everything at all times
Mm-hmm.
and have experienced everything. They are individually learning too.
Yeah. Mm, I think that's all that I have.
All right, I've worn Jenny out with paranormal investigations for the night. Still haven't convinced her to come with me. That'll be a work in progress.
You're funny.
Next
No.
episode is Jenny's choice, so we'll see
Yes.
what that ends up being. She's going to
We'll
have to
we'll
let me know
see.
so I can plan.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
That's a great question. I'm going to get on that. I'm getting
We'll
on.
find out. Perfect. All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. Thanks for coming back if you found us and actually want to keep watching us. We're definitely thrilled about that. May or may not turn this into a 2-part episode. We'll see where it ends up, and we'll go from there. So, as always, like, subscribe, hit all of the buttons, whatever you got to hit. Join us, follow us, all the fantastic things to help other people find us. All the buttons, hit the buttons, hit the buttons. I miss Toys R Us. I could go down the aisle and hit all the buttons.
Oh, wow.
I
That would have
can't
been
do that
fun.
anymore.
That would have been fun.
I can't do that anymore. So hit all of the things that you need to hit to join, follow, subscribe, do those things, and we will see you next week.